Good day to all. I hope you're fine wherever you are. Emergency officials at Washington's Walla Walla County said they had received numerous reports of white stuff covering surfaces and cars. It comes as just 3 weeks ago a mysterious, never-before-seen grey substance was reported killing birds in the San Francisco Bay Area. North Queensland is mopping up after the worst flooding in almost 50 years, inundating homes, businesses and roads. The Mayor of Cairns said the last time they had rain like this was way back in 1967. NASA has released a view of the Moon that cannot be seen from Earth. Using nearly 5 years of mapping data from the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, the space agency has created footage showing what it is like on the far side of the Moon. Avian influenza is a bigger threat to mankind than Ebola. It is hosted by birds, but it is also attacking mammals and animals. In 1918, it infected 500 million people and killed around 100 million. It is steadily rising around the world. Snow amounts set historic records in Boston.
Boston has been pummeled with feet of snow over the past few weeks. I want to give you a unique perspective because I'm actually standing on a roof and I want you to take a look at the horizon. Every single roof out there is covered in snow. That's what officials are telling us is one of the big risk factors, because imagine all of that weight on the structure of your house.
Another species in danger. Nearly 1 billion monarch butterflies have vanished.
Monarch butterflies are one of backyard watchers' favorite insects, but they're disappearing. In the past 20 years, their populations declined almost 90%, from about 1 billion butterflies to just 35 million.
Floods inundate the Indonesian capital, Jakarta.
Monsoon season has arrived in Indonesia. The streets of the capital, Jakarta, are submerged beneath floodwaters knee-deep in some places. Residential and business districts have been inundated. Malls and shops are closed. Nearly 6,000 residents have been evacuated to higher ground. Many say the annual flooding season has worsened in recent years.
28 years after Chernobyl, radioactive reindeer, sheep and wild boars are roaming the countryside of northern Europe, and alarming deaths of wildlife along the west coast of the US are being linked to Fukushima. Last week, the Sun exhibited one of the longest filaments ever recorded. Visible as a dark streak just below the centre in the featured image, the enormous filament extended across the face of the Sun a distance of 700,000 kilometres. More than 200 migrants have died in another tragedy on the Mediterranean Sea after their boat sank after fleeing the Libyan coast last week. Incredibly, 9 were rescued after 4 days at sea. In the follow-up to last month's storm Zina, which paralysed Lebanon with snow, Storm Johan intensified Tuesday night, battering the country's roads and services. Do all storms have names these days? Every storm seems to have a name. A magnitude 6.7 quake in Argentina was only the second this month and only the 5th of 2015. It's a quiet time for large quakes. Maybe we should give them all names. raging sandstorm swept into Israel, Palestine, Lebanon and Egypt this week, whipping up huge waves in the Mediterranean Sea. Israel's Environmental Protection Ministry said air pollution levels were the worst in years. An aerial photo taken of fracking operations in Texas has caused a rumble online. Between January 6th and 7th, 12 earthquakes were recorded in the Irving area. Since 2008, more than 100 quakes have hit northern Texas. Fracking doesn't just cause quakes, it also makes our water highly inflammable. For the third year in a row, starving sea lion pups are washed ashore on Californian beaches.
New concern tonight over the fate of 6 sea lion and seal pups beaching themselves along our coast. Now, the number of stranded and malnourished pups is on the rise.
It sure is. 10 News reporter Steve Fiorina is live with what SeaWorld believes may be behind the increase. Steve.
Itika, they know that the food supply is down, the sardines, the squid, that type of thing, but the exact reason for that food supply being down, kind of a complex one. We do know the SeaWorld keepers have been very busy.
200 metric tons of West Coast rock lobster dead.
A red tide puts a damper on any beach day. It happens when a single-celled plant known as phytoplankton overproduces. Although it's microscopic, it causes a headache of problems near the coastline. It looks red because the microalgae emits a reddish pigment to capture sunlight and grow. But red tides can actually range from pink to burgundy to green or even yellow in other parts of the world.
A volcano eruption during a phase of heightened activity, sending huge plumes of smoke into the air with fiery red lava. Footage by Photo Volcanica uses a series of time-lapse and normal footage shot from ground level to make this wonderful video. Sadly, more than 100 whales died stranded on a New Zealand beach.
Save the whales. It's more than a slogan on New Zealand's South Island, where desperate rescue efforts are underway after almost 200 pilot whales got stranded. Volunteers have rushed to help the stricken creatures found at Farewell Spit, in what's said to be the biggest whale beaching there in over a decade.
And finally, 2 big quakes in the space of an hour after days of inactivity. A magnitude 7.1 in the mid-Atlantic, followed by a magnitude 6.2 near Taiwan. If you like these weekly videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.